Okay, let's see if I can be heard now. Fantastic. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and get started and assume that I can be heard on all platforms. The thumbs up will come in a couple of minutes. Good to see everybody here. And well done. A very big well done and congratulations on once again raising your hand for freedom and stepping forward for all that you stand. This is going to be a very special goddess-centric, goddess worship-centric meditation, energetic intervention. And also, it's going to be an experimental meditation. And in terms of short, we're going to be experimenting with half-hour meditation because they may be enough. Certainly on most occasions, they may be enough. From now on, we shall see. There's only one way to find out. So as the off-world and in-earth forces look upon you with admiration, respect, and gratitude, we're simply going to get started. This is the Unknown Light Warrior welcoming you to the 144K mass intervention of Valentine's Day. And we are going to be opening up a goddess portal. Valentine's Day is a goddess worship-centric phenomena. I would use that term. And we're going to bring it back in a big way. And this goddess portal opens up now. We're just going to make sure it's fully open. And it's going to be open through the weekend till Sunday night, which is part of what Sunday's webinar is going to be all about as well. It's related to that. And I'm even going to propose keeping it open. So, be in that I'm going to use the term freestyle, carefree kind of mode where there's no limitations. Now see yourself in a gigantic crystal ball. Look all around you and see the smooth silver, very translucent walls of this gigantic crystal ball. Let's call in Gaia, authentic Gaia. We call upon the one true authentic goddess, Gaia. Please be here with us. See her in the middle of the crystal ball, and of course, all around in that dotted golden ring, the golden light bodies of all your fellow 144K brethren and comrades in arms. I call upon the authentic goddess Isis Astara and the one in the incarnational name of Yvonne Moore. We call upon both of you to be here with us to change a world. Well, I suppose accelerate it. It's already changing. Some of you, mostly women, will have your own goddess. I'm going to use the term deities, even if it's your higher aspect. You can call them in now. The rest of you can just call in your guides, as we're evenly spaced along the inside of the equator of this gigantic crystal ball surrounding Gaia. Look at Gaia with her oceans, blue oceans, clouds over the blue oceans and continents, and the white, beautiful white of the polar ice caps. And now we start to move up to beyond multiversal, managers of multiverses, for far greater amplification of our consciousness and conscious intent. And that's still quite an understatement. And we go up the layers of this universe. You notice the first few horizontal bright layers of this universe going from top to bottom around the crystal ball, and then that familiar, comforting blur of light, flashing, flickering of light. So calming, so therapeutic. Appearing. We're going to go super fast. And as always, it's a case of fully letting go of thought. Doing before you even have a chance to think, so that the rational left hemisphere brain lets go because it doesn't have a choice. It can't keep up. Don't think. Instantaneousness. Everything you can imagine is real as we rapidly approach that last thick outer boundary of this universe. Allow the soft flickering light through the translucent walls of the crystal ball to calm you, center you, bring you into that centered stillness. Take your last glance at Gaia, the beautiful white polar ice caps, white clouds over the blue oceans. And all of a sudden, we reach the last thick outer boundary of this universe, and it's very bright. You have to squint your eyes, you can barely see Gaia in the middle, and all of a sudden, we are through. It's now a beautiful, steel, dark toned kind of silver interior within a crystal ball, and you see the big ball of light that is the universe that we just left rapidly descend turning into a small ball of light, and we rise above a whole ocean of small balls of light that are all the other neighboring universes in this multiverse. You can see them still fairly distinctly through the translucent bottom wall of the crystal ball, and that all turns into a gigantic, slightly hazier ball of light that is the multiverse that we just left. And we rise above a whole ocean of multiverses. That all just as if it's getting sucked away. We're rising above all that is so far, so much, to supreme levels of power and authority. Isn't that lovely? Take your last glance at Gaia, your goddess deities. And if you're a dude that doesn't really have anything in the way of a goddess deity that you worship, just feel or imagine any woman that you truly fell in love with. And call in her off-world aspect. And you're connected to Goddess. And take that last glance at Gaia. Authentic God, we call upon one true authentic God. Please be here with us right now. Authentic God, please make sure we go to you and knowing us true heart. Just doing the usual standard security protocols. And you look up through the roof of the crystal ball. You see a point of white light way off in the distance. Such a hidden realm above all that is. The whole roof of the crystal ball begins to light up as we approach this platform of light of these managers of multiverses, authorized by Source to intervene directly in this universe, which is a very rare occurrence indeed. And we finally reach it. The whole roof of the crystal ball is very brightly lit up. Remember to broaden your internal vision to actualize, to create non-physical matter into form in the literal sense, thanks to your sacred consciousness being projected from the physical of the third density to the non-physical as we move through slowly, lovingly, gracefully, up and through this platform of light. As it closes at the bottom, opens up at the top. Let go and let God, as they say. Let go, trust. Basically focusing and allowing that eternal image. We rise above. We form a straight line behind but above Gaia, standing in solidarity and unity, only heading in one direction and nowhere else. The crystal ball peels slowly, evenly, from the top center all the way down. And now look up and see and feel the very unique, albeit extreme, energy signature of these 5 very, very translucent beings of light. And just pay a little bit of background attention to your senses in the center of your head, and then in your heart. Authentic God, please send us a massive wave of your energy so we can truly feel you to an undeniable, unmistakable physical level. Engage down to the physical. Now let go, remove any mental limitations whatsoever, simply through trust and the right hemisphere form of consciousness that this perverted matrix refers to as imagination. "30 seconds, let go, and be here where it matters the most for full impact on this planet." All right, now go down to your heart. B, operate from the heart level. It does not mean forget your head, but in a more background pervasive sense, the heart has to be in charge. If you're a woman, call upon your goddess aspect, high dimensional goddess aspect. We'll be doing more work on this on Sunday, especially for goddesses. And a very special healing process for men. But we need to open up the floodgates here. Show the planet the way. Alrighty. Looks like the teams are already at it. They're clearing a DNA. I don't know if it's a master DNA snippet, which is sort of like a gene or what, but it's healing and clearing the Magdalene line. I'm not a huge believer in genetic bloodlines, but it is what it is. It has its place, I suppose. I'm more of a believer of the soul altering DNA and genes. Authentic Legion of Light. Let me just quickly call in the rest. I call upon the infinite army of the authentic amalgam. I call upon the elders of the amalgam. I call upon the team of beings that created this universe, known as Oberon. Repeat after me, everybody. I call upon the entirety of my soul and see it as a point of white light up above the HUD. Repeat after me. I call upon the entirety of my oversoul. See it as a bigger ball of light in a different color, perhaps behind the ball of light of your soul. Repeat after me. I call upon my authentic I am presence and see it as an even bigger ball of light behind your oversoul. Visualize to actualize. Authentic Legion of Light, take us to the space of omnipresence. See a bright flash of white light. It's so bright you literally have to squint your eyes. Omnipresence now. And the bright light disappears. Everything looks the same. Gaia is before us, a little below. Authentic Legion of Light. From the space of omnipresence. Let's just spend a couple of minutes clearing any and all blocks, interferences, especially technologies, throughout all densities and planes, especially the third density, physical plane, and in between spaces, down to the quantum and subquantum level, down to the surface and beyond, outside of time and space, down to 0 point, in between the spaces, in between densities and planes, and as mentioned, in between time-space and space-time. There is no escape. Authentic Legion of Light, clear all, scan and from omnipresence, clear all blocks of any shape, form or kind to the opening of the goddess portal. Bring and install the governing, the goddess energy and nature as a primary, pervasive, commanding, governing energy and consciousness of this world, down to the third density physical level. Valentine's Day is a day of goddess worship, and we are fully restoring it for the next 3 days and forevermore. See Gaia in a quarantine sphere. Let's just quickly clear some blocks. Pick your choice of color of the quarantine sphere. Pick a single holographic monotone color of Gaia that represents omnipresence, that brings up all the aforementioned realms and spaces and frequencies. Let go and let God. Do, don't think. These are critical, incredibly powerful psychic powers you are being guided in, literally. But you simply have to let go and just be the witness in order to receive and go beyond current mental limitations. Blow them wide open. See at least 2 of the teams opposite, even if it's only your I am, and 2 of the HOD perhaps. The intent has been set. The intent is supreme, especially with this kind of backing, and this is only going to take about 2 or 3 minutes, so have at it. Okay, Authentic Legion of Light, transmute that there. Now, whatever shape, block, interference comes up, it'll appear as dark grey or black, being representative of negativity. Turn it white, change background color of Gaia and or the quarantine sphere as needed to be able to contrast your white transmutational light of your consciousness driven by the right intent, the right question, in a different sort of way. We're radically accelerating compression breakthrough for you Cobra subscribers by a good 5 times. I won't verbalize what I saw. Wall removing, massive blocks, overlays, technologies, whatever. That only your soul, with its unique abilities, talents, purpose, pre-assigned tasks, can see, that no one else's can. Usually the faint images are typically the accurate ones. Just make sure you transmute the damn thing to release and free Goddess and bring true Goddess consciousness and its genius down to the surface. Turn it white. All right. So what I saw was a macabre but very black, very dark grey. But it's either a fake one or it was used to bind up the fundamental core, energy, and codes of Goddess. And for those of you who may not be aware, it's the same thing as Source. Source is not, as many of you have heard several times from me now, Source is not just the perfect union of masculine and feminine. There's a lot more to it than that. And that, of course, is a story for another day. All right. C, for those of you not doing anything in particular at the moment, C, well, I guess it's the holographic human form of Gaia herself, sort of appear within the center of Gaia in terms of her 3D physical aspect within it. It's a holographic image of a woman, beautiful inside and out. Coming out of the core, it seems. And the beauty of, well, I'm just going to call her what she is, Source, is that it transforms everything just by being, just through its presence. It doesn't really need to do anything per se, unlike the masculine. Again, another story for another day. You just have to trust me in this one. Now, C, pick your choice of color. I'm not going to impose any influence, I guess. Pick your choice of color that to you represents the color that carries, I'm going to use the term source codes. Starting to emanate outwards from the core of Gaia through the various, I guess, perpendicular lines, vortexes, structures, crystals, emanating outwards from the core of Gaia, racing to the surface. See the surface grids, a lot more than just ley line grids, all sorts of vortexes, portals, other grids, and physical crystals. Some of you have seen those underground caverns, I guess, of profound crystals. Move this light that represents to you Source Goddess, move them through the crystals, move them outwards and outwards. Your mind is already showing you the accurate image you have to receive by doing, not thinking. All right. Now maintain this for a couple of minutes because the depths of the quantum and subquantum swamp has been forced out or forced up because goddess love is the most toxic thing you can possibly encounter. Remember to play around with angles, float around, be, allow, accept the unlimited, intrinsic, unlimited nature of your consciousness. Take that occasional glance by broadening the internal image of reality and truth. And seeing at least 2 or 3 of the teams in the background. Omnipresence. And this light is going to start permeating once we're finished. Not just through the grids, but through all connections of surface humanity between surface physical humans. Authentic Legion, complete the process within the next 60 seconds of transmuting, removing all those blocks. Both organic, inorganic, technological, to restoring the natural governing force and authority to this world, down to the physical third density surface, and within the human collective energy system. It will accelerate the healing of humanity. Destroying natural connections between humanity and the animal kingdom, elemental kingdom, crystal kingdom, mineral kingdom. By clearing all those blocks, all forms and types of darkness throughout the third, well, primarily third density, fourth to a degree, second and third, down to 0 point, in between densities, in between spaces, outside of time, space, and space-time. Nice. Some of you may have felt something there. All right. Now, with all that garbage gone, visualize very totally stereotypical goddesses. You can see them descending down to this realm, or they just appear there, about 6 or 7 of them, around Gaia. Some of you may feel the need to see that around the core of Gaia. If you're a man, keep on spreading goddess frequencies, codes, energies throughout the spaces in between. In between time, space, and space-time. So if you like, you can visualize, they look like cubes, which is individual space-times. And they're all evenly spaced between each other. Turn it from dark grey to magenta. And see magenta traveling in between these cubes of time, space, and down to 0 point. Throughout the third, second, first 0 point density. And then spread it throughout the planet by zooming out and spreading just magenta light throughout the planet. At elevation, so from low Earth orbit all the way down the atmosphere through the surface, etc. Again, it takes a higher level of consciousness, I guess. Not thinking. Going beyond the boundaries of the known. In other words, growth. To realize, let alone manifest and actualize freedom. All right. We're pretty much done. Check in with your own soul, which is incredibly vast and powerful. To see if there's anything else left Okay, now to finish up our last and final act. For all women/goddesses, certainly the majority of you will be the female or feminine half of the original whole soul. Bring a magenta light and visualize this in whatever way works for you. Just be sure to visualize it without an ounce of trying. Bring through a magenta line of light, I guess, through your soul star chakra, and then down into and through your crown chakra, and bring it through down your head into your heart and through down to your root chakra, and then down through into your earth star chakra. Briefly notice a kind of build-up of divine feminine energy and see it start to spread outward through your bodies into your aura, that kind of thing, through your meridians, as an example. Kind of like the build-up, like priming the pump. Zoom out to be able to easily see your whole auric field. See it's starting to kind of, for lack of a better term, swell up, pulse. See it at a distance, and then see your whole auric membrane, I guess, and aura just kind of crack open is the best way I can verbalize. Again, verbals, not our natural way of communicating. So my best is simply my best as far as that's concerned. And boom, as if, again, pick your analogy, eggshell breaking apart and open in an outward kind of way, whatever it is that works for you. Because we're all unique souls. And now this will enable and put you on the timeline, finally, to both realign or return to the aligned expression, physical and otherwise, of your true goddess identity, and so radically accelerate it as well. It's actually part of the process of preparing for first contact, by the way, because that's an insanely high frequency event. Now spread. Again, you can go with magenta if you want. You're the goddess. Spread it downwards deep into the ground. Remember, you are multidimensional, so it's happening all the way up here beyond the multiverse and down here at the third density as well. In other words, embrace your true natural nature. Spread magenta light. See it darting in all sorts of lines and whatnot throughout your neck of the woods initially. You can see your suburban surroundings in that holographic way and see the magenta lines just spread out. And connecting to your neighbors, whether they like it or not, we do have authority, and it is time to do such a thing, even though it may seem like interference in their personal path. Spread it out, zoom out, and just keep on, again, let go and let guide, as they say. See the dark indigo, perhaps, a background color of Gaia's crust, your part of town or countryside, wherever it is that you are. See it spread and zoom out. See it spread some more, zoom out some more. See all these crisscrossing magenta lines spread out. And it goes into the fields of men, but more so into the hearts of men. So it's going into men as well. Into their hearts and healing their hearts. Healing the hearts of men in order to begin the process of I would say resurrecting the divine masculine. The divine masculine needs resurrecting. So, see, you can start with your neighbors, people you know, whatever it is that your soul is already guiding you in. And see, zoom out until you're over your county if you're in America, city if you're in Australia, etc. And then spread it out some more. Keep on going. Now I'm in a critical grid point of Gaia, being Sedona, so I've got to make sure this is done well. This is a critical fundamental part of the cleansing and healing and consciousness raising process for humanity, service humanity. By truly anchoring source energy / being the same thing as goddess energy. And this will also inevitably break up or cause to malfunction any technologies and I suppose you can call astral constructs, consciousness constructs of the fake or false divine feminine energy. There's still some dark dualism about, predominantly in women's bodies, that are dark souls, dark beings posing as goddesses. It'll expose them, basically. So, as always, major, massive, critical intervention by the 144K. Thank God for the 144K. I don't know what else to say. And spread. through your state or country. Spread the magenta light in amongst that beautiful dark indigo background of the surface of Gaia. And spread it. Keep on spreading it, and do not, for the love of God, stop spreading it. You are accelerating freedom, much less the restoration of the natural right of Goddess governing consciousness and energy back. It's all about return, all about restoration. Ultimately, I guess. Keep on spreading it. Again, just see a combination, I guess, of lines, grid lines, just darting left, right, and center, outwards and upwards, as well as a general background soft magenta. Really have fun with lighting up the grids. And you can end or stop or finish whenever you want, because we're done. I'm just making sure the Pacific Ocean, the middle of it, is taken care of, because it's often forgotten. All through the oceans and continents. Yeah, you can use the usual familiar ley lines as the sort of starting reference point, and then spread it from there. And zoom out. See Gaia holographically. Within the quarantine sphere, and light her up, like kind of like a Christmas tree. And well done, everybody. Now, what this will do is it'll heal, and therefore not have shut down anymore. The divine masculine for the masculine soul, meaning the masculine half of the original whole soul, 95% of which are in men's bodies. The other 5 or so percent are in women's bodies. And it'll, for that resurrection to go to the next level at the very least. And for women, it's beginning, or has triggered, the process of the critical step, fundamentally important step of disidentifying yourself, your goddess self, from your current physical vessel and persona and identity. You'll start disidentifying that with that. And that is critical, fundamental, to really getting back there, returning home, returning back to your true goddess identity. And we're going to expand on that this Sunday, this Sunday's webinar. So watch for the email for that, where we're also going to be removing that negative code within all our DNA. So be really glued to your inbox. All right, well done, everybody. Once again, all that is incredibly grateful and proud of you. As always, this has been experimental in terms of length. It's worked out okay. It's always hard to know where things lead to, what we end up being asked to do, because 9 times out of 10, that's on a need-to-know basis and informed of it at the last minute. All right, an hour and 6 minutes. Well, actually an hour, because I started a little bit late. Take a deep breath and feel that pride. And let's see what happens. Let's see the results over the next 48 hours or so. And feel the love, gratitude, and hugs from our starter and I. And hopefully I'll see all of you on Sunday again. And it's going to be more like there is a critical short process to do there, but it's going to be more of a regular webinar kind of thing. And wonderful to see all, the beautiful familiar faces that I'm seeing just on Telegram alone. Well done, everybody. This is your loving servant, the Unknown Light Warrior. Stay tuned, beloved one. We are marching on to freedom and accelerating it. Till next time.